What's up guys, Matt Smith here from mattsmithdrums.com, and in today's drum lesson we are going to be learning a linear tom groove based around 3-note groupings. Now what I mean by 3-note groupings is we're simply going to be taking right, left, kick and moving it around the drum set to create this groove. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first 3-note grouping is going to be based on the right hand on the first tom, left hand on the hi-hat, and then our kick sounds like this. We're simply going to move our right hand down to the second tom, and our left hand is going to move down to play the snare. So let's hear the second grouping. So let's put those two together and check it out. So after that, we're simply going to move our right hand down to the third tom, and our left hand's going to go back up to the hi-hat. And then we're going to play our kick right after it. Let's check out the third grouping here. Now the fourth grouping here, we're simply just playing the same thing, okay? So we're keeping the hands in the same position and playing the exact same pattern. So let's go ahead and go back to the beginning and just play through all 4 patterns that we have. Let's check it out. Now to finish this, we're simply playing our right hand back on the snare, and we're letting that breathe. That's going to be our quarter note, so that's going to give us a pause so we can set up for the next part of this groove. So let's hear the whole thing now, but we're going to add that last right hand on the snare drum. Here we go. Moving on to part 2, we're simply going to bring both our hands now up to the first tom for our first 2 notes, and then of course our bass drum's our third, so that would sound like this. And just like we did in our first grouping, we're going to be moving our right hand to the second tom and bringing our left hand back down to the snare to give us that backbeat, and then simply playing the kick right after it. So that would sound again like this. So both of those back to back sound like this. Alright, so here's the part of the groove that we're going to change. Instead of playing a 3-note grouping, we're going to add a 4th tom hit, okay? So this 4-note grouping is simply going to be right, left on the second tom, right, left on the third tom. Sounds like this. After that 4-note grouping, we're going to be playing our bass drum, right hand on the third tom, and our left hand's moving back to the snare. So that's going to sound like this. So let's play everything up to that. So to finish this groove, we're simply going to be taking our last 3 notes and moving our hand position from the floor tom back to the snare, starting with a kick. So it's going to go kick, right hand snare, left hand snare. Let's hear that a few times. Now that we've worked everything out, let's go ahead and put it all together and see how it sounds. Here we go. So both of these patterns sound pretty cool by themselves, but I think they sound the best played back to back. So we're gonna go back to the first pattern and play that into our second, nice and slow. Here we go. So I hope you guys had fun learning this. Feel free to mess around with this. You can use these as drum fills, whole beat drum fills. You can play around and just use it as a groove. I think it's fun to play, and I hope you do too. Take care and see you guys on the next video. Peace.